Hello, good morning. Well, hey, so good morning, everybody. And it is, what even is the date today? I don't know. It's not normally how I would start a live stream with the date, but why not? And I don't know the date offhand. It's January 30th. January is almost gone. And quite the interesting month it has been. So how's it going, everyone? I want to get this kit built up, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do here for today's live stream. Hello, how's it going, everybody? I actually already built, so I have the regular version and the commander type. The regular version, I want to say, was gifted to me, so I want to say thank you. I'm just gonna jog my memory real quick, just because my memory is terrible, and this month has been crazy. To Bobby, yes, right, to Bobby for sending me the regular ReZEL. I already built that. This is the commander type, which is one that I've just had in my backlog for a long time. And so considering that I had just built like pretty much the same kit within the past few days, within the past week, should make this pretty quicker than usual. Does this kit transform, Brandon asks, and I will get to some more of those comments there real quick in a minute. But does the kit transform? Yes, absolutely transforms, and no parts forming involved like with the HG. It's a full transformation, and I think it's a pretty cool transformation, to be honest. One of the better ones, I think. Let me see here. Patrick asked, what's the overall plan for the GBWC entry? Patrick, where have you been? I talked about this. We had a whole live stream talking all about it. Ryan and I, Ryan Lau, did a live stream a couple weeks ago. A live stream together where we talked a little bit about both of our plans, because he's gonna be working on something for an entry, as will I. So after this live stream, later on, Patrick, when you get a chance, go check out that live stream. I talked about it a lot. Didn't really have much to show off like visually, but I think you can get a pretty good grasp of the concept that I'm going for, just from what was talked about and what was shown in that video. So check out that live stream. Ryan and I will be doing another live stream 2 weeks later. Not this week and not this next coming week, but after that. So at the very least, it'll be like a once a month. I think maybe a little bit later on in the year, and then especially like once GBWC is like getting a little bit closer and we're kind of like really in high gear, I think that we'll probably do the live streams maybe even a little bit more often, every couple weeks or something like that. So it just kind of depends on our schedules. So I mean, like, Ryan's a busy person, and I mean, while in theory I do make a little bit of money off of like the live streams, Ryan doesn't. So he's just volunteering his time to come and hang out and talk with me. So it's kind of whenever it's convenient for him. So let's see. So the commander got a double rifle, then a standard gun. So no, the commander type just has the one cannon over the shoulder. The beam rifle is exactly the same. And actually, on that note, no, actually it doesn't have a beam rifle at all. I take that back. Yeah, I was thinking that it does include the same beam rifle, but it doesn't. It has the same shield. It does not have the beam rifle. It just has the big cannon over the shoulder, interestingly enough. So yeah, Master 8 said, hi pro, hello. Shout out Team Gundam, yes. Justin's here, what's going on? And so let's see, what else we got here? Good morning from Toronto, Canada, good morning. Let's see. Brandon also missed the GBWC news. That's cool. Just go check out that live stream. Like I said, you'll be seeing more of that kind of live stream series, and I'll do just like regular work in progress videos as well once I'm getting further along. Basically, right now I'm just kind of building up, just snap building the main kits that are going to be a part of the the kits individually. So this is the last kit that needs to be built before I can start doing that. Ends Creations also said, good morning from the Philippines. Hello. Good morning from Sweden. Or good evening from Sweden, I should say. Good evening, Sweden. Very cool. Good day from Estonia. Nice. Very international crowd today. Love to see it. Thank you guys for coming. And a good morning from Georgia. Not too far away there. So from near and far. All right, good stuff. So the head's done. Easy. The torso here, we've got these couple of clear green parts, which I'm going to leave out for the time being. Just because those are going to be difficult to get out again later. So for the moment, I'm going to leave those off. Good evening from Norway as well. Very cool. A lot of Europeans here with us today. Very nice. Annyeonghaseyo from Brunei. Also cool. I've not been, but I would love to go. Europe as well. Sorry, not to leave you guys out. Actually, obviously, if you guys have been watching for a while, you know that I lived in Korea and Japan before, and I've traveled around to a number of different places around Southeast Asia, but never been to Europe at all. So I would like to go at some point, of course. One place, probably the one place in particular that I'm most looking forward to traveling to in Europe, if and when I get the chance, would be Greece, actually. So if there's anybody watching from Greece, shout out. And I've actually heard from a couple of people when I've talked about this before, when I've mentioned about it. There are a few viewers out there in Greece who said, like, yeah, if you do ever come out, let us know. So it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome to be able to get out there and to also meet up with some people. And it'd be a fun time. Yeah. Good morning. Good evening from VN. What's VN? Vietnam? Oh, right. Yeah. Good morning. Let's see. Or good evening from Vietnam. Good evening. Good morning from Compass. What's that? Rockers, Los Angeles. What's Compass? Where is that? Morning from Virginia. They're southeast. Is Virginia southeast? Is it considered southeast United States? Sort of, right? Anyway, not too far from here. Again. Hello from France, Malaysia. Very cool. Seems like I think just because of the time, like here in the U.S., like West Coast is like very, very early. Here on the East Coast, it's like kind of mid-morning, right? So I think either people are either at work or at school or whatever. Seems like it's a more opportune watching time for those of you guys in Europe and Southeast Asia. But regardless, wherever you guys are watching from, thanks for hanging out. Let's see, good night from Myanmar. Not been to Myanmar. All right. I love the way that this is like the midsection of the torso, how this opens and closes for the transformation. It's a very cool gimmick there. Did the MG ReZEL get reissued? No, not that I know of. I don't think so. So it was, I don't want to say difficult to find. It wasn't like difficult to find. Could find some, but of course with it not having been reprinted in a while, it was like, there was actually like a couple of stores I was able to find it at, but I did just reach out. I don't know if you guys saw. I just made a post just to see if there was anybody that maybe had one that was maybe willing to either trade for one or let theirs go for maybe cheaper than what it was going for online. And yeah, Bobby reached out and actually agreed to just give this to me. So I just want to say a huge thank you again to Bobby for that. So it's very cool. Very, very cool. Very much appreciated. It's 8:50 in Colorado. So yeah, it's first thing in the morning. Colorado is a beautiful state. been there when I was younger. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Okay, that's right. I just want to make sure I had the right part here. These are the arm, like shoulder connection parts here. They're specific for the left and the right side. One of these parts. So just want to make sure I had the right one. Yeah, Colorado. I've been to like when I was like younger, but it's been quite a long time. I would love to go again. And all that I remember about Colorado is it's a really nice, beautiful state. So looking forward to going there. I believe a elementary school friend of mine was supposed to be moving out there. I don't know if he ever did or not. I'm not sure what came of that. It'd be a good chance to maybe go visit him or something in the future. Let's see. Okay. Okay. It's a shame that there's no MG Zulu to put next to the ReZEL. Yeah, I know. I would love if we would finally get an MG Gira Zulu. Would be very, very cool. I have a feeling that we're probably going to get one eventually. It's just a matter of when. It is kind of surprising that we haven't got one, but just because, yeah, like in the midst of when we were kind of really getting all unicorn kits, a lot of them, and this one among them, as far as like the master grades go. Yeah, it is kind of interesting that they made a MG ReZEL and not made a Gira Zulu as well. Yes, very strange. I think they would have gone for like the grunts from kind of both sides, right? I guess it didn't work out. That said, yeah, I think it's probably a matter of when, not if. I think it's likely we will get one. All right, just a couple more pieces here left on the torso, and we can move on to be the arms up next after this. This is another one. Let's see. A little bit worried about how difficult that's going to be to get apart again later. And actually, I should say that I mentioned this is kind of like the last piece that I need of the different kits that I'm planning to utilize for GWC. That's actually not entirely true. There is also the MG Shenanju Stein Verka. Not the upcoming narrative version, just going to use the original MG Stein Verka. I do have one of those. And that kit will probably live build later this week, if possible. Still need to live build the Galehound, which I have here as well on the to-do list. Okay. A little bit kind of tricky to get these shoulder joints kind of popped in there. Have to kind of have it angled just right. But there we go. It feels like it's not quite right, but I think it is. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think maybe that was the problem. This one side part was just kind of a little bit off. But there we go. Now we got it. Okay, so there's the top torso. It's actually, let's do that maybe. All right, Tuesday morning stream, yes. Surprised there was a Zaku FZ. I only knew there was a P Bandai. Is there a Zaku FZ in Unicorn at some point? I'd imagine that would be sometime maybe during like the Torrington base assault, where you see like all the like quote unquote retro, like the older Xeon suits like coming out from everywhere. Or I guess there's like the later big space battle scene as well with all the Xeon Remnant suits. Of the space variety, the Zaku FZ I would imagine would be part of the ground assault though. I don't remember that one being there, but yeah, that's cool. for you Zaku FZ fans, as you guys know, it's not one of my favorite Zaku variants, but that definitely is one of the cool things about the Unicorn series is to see all those older mobile suits make some nice cameos in there, and especially there's like a number of mobile suits that don't have any other like animation appearance other than like a brief appearance in Gundam Unicorn. You know, like the Zaku Sniper, like is an example of one of many, I'm sure. The Zogok, I believe, too. Stuff like that. Especially during those scenes that I was just talking about. You see a lot of mobile suits that just like haven't ever appeared in any other animation, which is cool. One of the many reasons to love it. The Zaku FZ was on the Torrington raid. It was literally small. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll rewatch it. I'm actually, because I'm working on this project, I'm rewatching Unicorn myself as well. I rewatched like the first. Unfortunately, the like OVA version is not on Crunchyroll. It's the like the re-edited TV version, where like it still includes all the same story. It's not like anything's like cut or anything like that. I don't really like how it's re-edited in the TV version. I definitely prefer it in the OVA form, but yeah, I rewatched like the first couple episodes, and I'm gonna continue on rewatching the entirety of the series since I'm working on this project. So yeah, I'll keep an eye out for all the different cool cameos. Let's see, Zach, would you post a video about roasting Seed Freedom? I don't know, what about it? Like, post a video about other people roasting Seed Freedom, or you want me to roast Seed Freedom? I don't really like roast anime stuff. I mean, even like Gundam anime, I don't know. Or like if you want me to like roast the designs again, I mean, I don't really do that, I guess. This part's kind of tricky, where you have on like the back of the forum, it's a little door for like the missiles and or beam saber handles that you store in the like the back of the forum. There's a little door here for that, this part that opens up, but there's a little gray piece that goes on the inside that kind of holds it there. It's kind of difficult to put that in. But let's see, once we got that, then we've got this. You want me to just roast the gunpla? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Most of the gunpla I think looks okay. I mean, I like to hold off judgment on gunpla designs, even on ones that like don't immediately look that great to me. And to be clear, yeah, some of those new designs don't immediately like jump out at me as like designs that I'm really looking forward to building. But there's been many occasions where that's been the case, where like I saw the gunpla like in photos when it was announced, and I was like, yeah, that's not really to my taste. But then like I did later take the time to build it and check it out, and then I actually ended up really liking it. So that does happen from time to time. So I usually like to hold off judgment kind of until I've actually seen more about the kit. I actually checked it out, especially you know, taking the time to get some hands-on time with the kit as well, because that can definitely change my mind a lot. And you know, like generally my perspective when it comes to kits too is that I always like to be very optimistic and see the potential in kits more so than just kind of like surface level, like, oh, this kit is ugly. I mean, you kind of have to look at it like, okay, this kit, you know, maybe you don't like how it looks like straight out of the box, but try looking at it, I don't know, in a more open-minded way, I guess, to maybe see where there could be potential. Like, if there's parts of the design that you don't really like, you can change that. Uh-oh, and this is not the right part. I got these parts switched, I guess. Yeah, you can always change. So, like, say for example, like you really don't like, for example, of the three new designs, there's that Gan looking one. It's like the what is it? Something Gan Storm or something. Uh, yeah, like in particular, like the head. I don't really care for the design of the head. So probably what I'll end up doing, like if I do anything with that kit, is just kit bash to just swap the head with the head of a different kit or something. I have a from the Psycho Zaku. What was it? Psycho Zaku, was it? No, not Psycho Zaku. What was it? That would be that. The Psycho Doga. That Gundam Base exclusive Psycho Doga kit. HG kit. It's like a Fukuoka Gundam Base exclusive kit. So I built and reviewed that probably like a couple months ago, I guess now at this point. But that one had, like, for example, leftover parts to make like the full original Gyaradoga head. So I could try that out. Maybe, I don't think it'll be like necessarily a good match, but I know just offhand, I know I do have that head just right here because I still haven't like put it away into my spare parts bin. It's still just like sitting out there on my desk. So when I get that new Gan Storm kit, if I'm not really that into the head design, after kind of looking at it in more detail and actually building up the kit, I can try kit bashing it. Oof. Don't like how tight that is, so we're gonna do like we did with the Shinanju. I'm gonna file this peg here just a little bit so it's still tight, but it's not too tight. Interesting that like I said, I just last week built the standard type and didn't notice this being that much of an issue, that tightness there in the arm, but there we go. Okay, I don't like the Destiny 2 color. Why they changed the horn color? I don't know. One thing, one thing that like with the new like Strike Freedom, for example, the Mighty Strike Freedom, the jewel on the head opening up to be like a beam cannon there is pretty goofy, I'll admit. But I mean, I don't know, the whole head beam cannon, at least like with like the double Zeta, it's just like a, at least there's no like opening part to it, but I don't know. You don't have to open that part up. And more than likely, that kit is going to have extra parts, like leftover parts for the original like jewel for the Strike Freedom's VFin. So if like you really, really don't like that aspect of the design, you could probably just use the original part on that part anyway. So again, we'll see once we actually get the kit in hand. And then we can have like a much better idea as far as the kit's potential, how much fun the kit's going to be, and like what you can really do with it. So there's always ways to make a kit better, quote unquote better, because it's completely subjective anyway. But to make a kit more to your liking, basically, you could take. Like in theory, you could take any design, take like a design that you just find completely ugly and you just hate. I think it's fun to take a kit, something like that, and try to make it into something that is more appealing to you. Give it a try. I want to do HG Zaku Warrior. Yes, I can agree with that. I would absolutely love that because I'm a big fan of the Zaku Warrior design. And the Master Grade is cool. I like it. But yeah, a new HG would be cool as well. Definitely. I can agree with that. So unfortunately, the Seed HGs generally, the old ones, not including the more recent Revive releases, which have been fantastic, but the main series from like back in the day, those HG kits, yeah, a lot of not great like proportions and the details on them and everything. Yeah, they're not the best HGs for sure. They unfortunately came out at a time like just before HGs really started to get like really good, like with like the HG Age series, for example, where the HGs like are really, really super solid in terms of just like construction and design and everything. So yeah, Seed kind of just missed it, and Seed Destiny included, and like all the Seed MSV stuff and everything, unfortunately, because there's some really cool designs in there. But yeah, the kits unfortunately are generally not that great looking. Let's see. Take this advice and scratch build the Freedom designs as a BQ. What? BQ? Anyway. Yeah. So, no, I think the new Seed kits are going to be very interesting for sure. I definitely like the look of the kind of more Mandalorian looking ones. I keep like calling them that, just out of not being sure kind of what else to call them. What are they called? It's there's a, what's the word? Like the name of the team. It's not like Black Knights or something like that, isn't it? Something like that. How is it only 25 minutes and you already have the top torso? Oh, I don't know. Skill, no. Like I said, this is the commander type. I just built the standard type like last week, not on a live stream, but just, you know, something to keep in mind. So it is like somewhat fresh in my mind. Deathwatch Strike Force, is that what it is? Oof, that's an edgy name. Villain suits Black Knights or Shiva? I don't know. Well, which one's right? The Rising Freedom is using C-clips. Doesn't really bother me too much. I know a lot of people do like to complain about the use of C-clips in kits. I don't know. I don't really find it to be that big of an issue, to be honest. Like, when it comes to like I don't know, design features in Gunpla, like let's see, interest in terms of like engineering. Yeah, C-clips is like not that big a deal. I'll take that over like seam lines. Seam lines is something I'm getting like confused here. Sorry, like looking at these parts, making sure this is the right parts here for the arm, right? Yeah, like seam lines and like poorly placed mold lines and stuff is something that I would be much more, I don't even want to say upset. I wouldn't be upset about, but I think I have these parts on there, yeah, backwards. Yes, I do, don't I? Okay. Backwards and or upside down on both arms too. Don't know how I managed that. It's amazing that they fit on there the wrong way. A lot of times, like, even if you try to put parts on the wrong way, you just can't because they don't even fit that way. But in not the case with these. I'm just gonna turn these around here real quick. These little white accent parts there on the forearm. There we go. Okay, so what is next? Let's move on and see. Do you like, don't mind it in general, or you have a way around them? Oh, C-clips. Yeah. I just don't really mind it. I mean, yeah, like with Mulambo, just never had an issue with C-clips. I mean, yeah, they can be an issue. Like, basically, the problem is if like the C clip gets kind of stretched out at all, then it's not tight enough. Yeah, it's just never really been that much of an issue for me. Actually, the legs are next. I'm gonna skip ahead to the waist. So I just want to build the waist first. Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, they're kind of not ideal. A lot of times, C-clips save you from having to modify joints in order to like remove seam lines and paint. Because sometimes, you know, like on parts. If you need to remove a seam line in order to, if you need to remove a seam line and be able to paint the parts separately and not have to worry about masking, like a lot of times you would have to modify those parts, especially like in HGs and like the arms and legs and stuff like that. And usually the modification is not that difficult, so it's usually not that big of a deal. But C-clips in a lot of uses, I mean, they're kind of used in different ways, kind of all over the kit, but in a lot of uses, they do save you from having to modify joints for seam removal. So I certainly don't mind them in that case, but yeah, just kind of depends on the use. Oh, I'm surprised I actually got that as quick as I did. So there's this part here in the mechanism of the hip connection. Speaking of C-clips, this is right here. Let me just show it to you. Like this one, this is a C-clip here because it needs to go on and kind of rotate. So you need to push it on this way, and then you need to rotate it up. And for some reason on this one, both the left and the right side that I just did right now was super easy. But on the standard type, when I was building it last week, I was having some real trouble with that. Like once it was like on and I couldn't like get it to rotate down. But yeah, there we go. Worked out this time. That's good. All right, so let's see. Our front skirt armor here. And then yeah, I've got that come on. Come on. There we go. I've got this little piece. Let's see. Here. Is that right? I guess that's right. I wasn't sure. This little yellow piece for the teeny tiny little yellow V in the crotch section. I'm gonna have to cut that out. I didn't cut it out yet totally because I didn't want to lose it accidentally. So anyway, back to the main section here. Let's see. Got this white part goes in there. And we're gonna close that up. Again, should be cutting some of these pegs just to make my life easier when it's gonna come to disassembly later, but YOLO. Let's see. For the teat? What? No. Okay. All right. That goes on there, and actually, let's see. That should be like that. Yeah, those are not quite in there as they should be. Hang on. I'm gonna pop this part back off. Also, kind of part of the transformation is these. Where's my pliers? Might be making a Revive Jin and a Din. That would be cool. Uh-oh. My pliers don't go wide enough here. Okay. I think that's right anyway. Okay. Yes, you don't typically need pliers for a gunpla, but sometimes when the frame's a little tight, they can come in handy. There we go. All right. Cool. So, yeah, we didn't put that piece on yet, but we will in just a second. That piece there. What was I talking about? Felt like I was in the middle of a thought and then kind of lost it, but that's okay. Yeah. Have you built the MG Stark Jagan? Would love to see a review. No, I've not actually, but I was thinking about getting one because I think I might need a couple of parts from that kit for this project. So you might see a review for the Stark Jagan in the next couple months or so, possibly. I'm not really looking forward to having to get one though, because the kit's kind of expensive, like for what it is. I don't know. Unfortunately. Yeah, this teeny tiny little yellow piece for the front of the crotch. Just give me a second here, because really have to be careful with this one. Don't want this to fly across the room because it will be very much gone. Okay. People talk about only building master grades because they can't deal with the tiny parts of 1 in 44 scale kits. I mean, this is about as tiny as you get. A tiny little yellow piece there. So, all right, got the dong piece and our front skirts. No side skirts, as they're actually a part of the legs, which we'll get to right now. All right, there's our waist section done. Wow. Give me all the Jagan. Yes. Yeah. I'm still surprised we haven't seen more MG Master Grade Jagan variants. It is kind of surprising. Any gunpla you want to get reissued? It would be cool if a lot of like the older like 80s kits would get reissued. Also, I would like a 1.0 Gelgoog, MG 1.0 Gelgoog, or the Gelgoog cannon. One of those, either or of those. I feel like if they reprint one, they're probably going to reprint both, probably, but would love to see those reprinted. Let's see. On the contrary, I'm not doing MG anymore due to the sheer quantity of pieces. Ah, there you go. Why MG Hazel Osla getting reissue in US but not in other countries? Yeah, I don't know about that. I couldn't tell you. That is interesting. If it's back up on the US site and not on others, I would guess it's not so much that like Bandai Japan is reprinting it and then only sending them to the US. It's probably more so the case that they have a surplus there and they sent a bunch to the US just to try to offload some of it, and they put that up on the USP Bandai site. That would be my guess. It's not, probably not a reprint, but just an offloading of some of their stock from Japan to here in the US to try to sell some more on the USP Bandai site. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I would say. HG Tristan get reissued. I don't know. Interesting. There's a lot. I mean, there's quite a few kits if you really like look around at some different releases and things. There's quite a few kits that you could find that like, oh wait, that has like not ever been reissued at all. There's quite a lot of them actually, and it's interesting. Some you can kind of understand because they probably just didn't sell really well the first time, so it kind of, in a way, it would make sense for Bandai to not be in a big hurry to reprint more that are just going to sit on the shelf. But I don't know. You would think that even for like some of those that weren't super popular, at least just doing like a small reprint, you know, you got to imagine there's going to be some people who some people who are fans and maybe didn't get it the first time around, or might just be, you know, big enough fans that maybe they want to get another one or something. I don't know. Whatever the case may be. There's always something for everyone. All right. Now what is this? It's interesting how between, like I said, I just built like the standard type last week, and now building this one. It's interesting noticing like some differences in like how the loose or tight the frame feels. Like the shoulders felt so much tighter in this version, and conversely, the ankle feels so much looser in this version than with the other one. I don't know. Kind of odd. Could just be one of those things, I guess. All right. Where's our other small little white vent? I gotta say, this is one of those, I mean, speaking of, we were talking about this earlier, talking about the Seed Freedom Kits, designs that I didn't like that I ended up kind of changing my mind about. This is certainly one of them. Like the ReZEL early on was not a design that I liked. I was not into the design of the ReZEL. But I've come around like a lot in a big way. I really, really like the design now. One of the reasons why I wanted to use it in this project. I'm actually using two of them in this project. That's why I needed the two of them, both the standard and the commander type. They're not going to ultimately stay as standard and commander type necessarily. I think something like that, but it'll be a little bit different. That's the wrong way. Hang on. Okay. All right. There's that. Wait. Do you think we'll ever get other MGs from IBO? Yes, definitely. It's just a matter of time. It is certainly surprising for everyone that we haven't got more MG IBO kits, at least one more, any more, than just the one that we have so far. Yeah, it's very surprising. I would say it's certainly a matter of time on that. But yeah, it's interesting that it's taken this long for sure. Don't know when that's going to be happening. All right, so we got that. And all right, here, this one there. And our foot should be up or down? Down. Guess, right? Okay. Can close this up. For our leg frame, thigh armor here. This part at the top. This one here on the back. It seems like I'm kind of trying to speed along here a little bit. I am. So, thank you. I'm surprised that Heavy Gun don't have an MG or even HG. The Heavy Gun? Is that? Which one is that? Oh, is that the that F91 design that we're talking about? Nothing new in design with these Seed Freedom Kits. I mean, yeah, I kind of get what you mean, but at the same time, I mean, it's not like it's a completely new series. I mean, so considering that it's like a continuation of the series, you would kind of expect that the designs would kind of continue along the same trend, right? This part we were supposed to put on first. I think it'll be fine to put it on second, but let's see. Maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, this part's supposed to be on the top of there, so this needs to go on first. Like that. If I can get that on there, right? There we go. I think that's right. The way that some of these parts kind of like this part fits over the top of this one, but underneath this one, and kind of over that and under that. It takes a second to get it figured out, like the right layering of those parts there. So as I was saying, because like I sometimes get messages from people about this, like if you're putting something together and it's not fitting properly, or like it's not fitting together properly, just take that section apart and just like try it again. That like 9 out of 10 times that'll solve your issue, because it's probably just the fact that you have something just like not quite lined up quite right, and that'll usually solve it. So like what I was just dealing with there with that leg, those parts like didn't want to quite go together. All right. So this is effectively our side skirt here, which just plugs onto the top of the leg. Our leg is unfortunately just a ball and socket joint there. It's not ideal, but it did the job. I mean, usually the problem with a ball and socket joint is that you can't get enough movement like out to the side. Well, that skirt armor popping off is not good, but that also can be adjusted. Anyway, we can actually get the leg out to the side pretty well if we can figure out what to do with that side skirt armor to not do that. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on with our second leg real quick. There we go, but you can see how it's coming along. Very nice. Lightning Buster in the Dual Blitz MG, please. We already have the base model already. Yeah, there's certainly it's always interesting to like whenever this new stuff announced, then the wish listing begins. So we got those new seed MGs, or new seed announcements. Now there's a lot of different seed stuff that people are hoping Bandai will get to. I don't know. Generally, like as far as like history goes, it unfortunately doesn't really work out like that. Like sometimes, kind of like we may, in the midst of all this seed stuff, we may end up getting something like another kind of like revive or something like that version of a different suit. Probably not though. It's probably just going to be whatever's new from the new movie, and then it's probably going to be about it, I would guess. But yeah, we will see. They're waiting for MGA. Yeah. MGA. MGXia 2.0. There we go. MGA. It's quite interesting. I'm just going back to the foot. I was kind of wondering, maybe the reason why I was noticing the ankle joint somewhat loose, maybe I used the wrong part or used it in the wrong way or something, but no, I don't think so. That's right. It's just kind of loose. So this little part stuck inside here. There we go. Oh, and I think because that was stuck in there, hang on a second. Just get these other couple little bits here out of the way first real quick. That. What else? This one here. Okay. Now the foot's done. Yeah, this piece, I didn't cut the nubs off because it was stuck inside there. I just want some more UC real grades RG F91. Oof. The RG crossbone was great, but yeah, I'm gonna find with some more of the future real grades being a little bit larger variety, not so much the really small designs. So no, I wouldn't personally be looking forward to a F91, but just be happy with the 2.0 MG F91 that we got. RG V2 Gundam would certainly be interesting. I mean, basically it would just be interesting to see if Bandai can do a Victory or a V2 in 1/44 scale and somehow make it better than the MG Verka. I don't know how, but you know, it's Bandai. I'm sure they could figure it out. Actually make it to be able to like pose well and do all that. Oh, there we go. This would be PCA. Sherry. Hi, Zach. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. I am doing well. And hello. Good morning. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, doing well. Very busy. This week, yesterday, was my wife's second treatment of chemotherapy. So today we have to go back in. So basically it's just like a lot of going back and forth to the hospital for that stuff here and there. So like the way that it's going like for her is that we do like one day is chemotherapy, then have to go back the next day for like more like fluids and additional like medication just to kind of like follow that up basically. And then tomorrow have something else as well, another like scan that we have to go in for. So there's a lot of like going to the hospital for all sorts of different stuff often. So, and it does kind of don't want to say it in like any kind of negative way at all, but interrupt like me like working. I mean, I'm not able to, you know, work normally because I need to take her to different appointments and things like that. But yeah, it's working out. It's coming along. Anyway, we're making it work. We're getting this live stream done. I got some recording done this morning before doing this. Let's see. Yeah, see, so I was talking about with these parts layering strangely. That part goes under, this part goes over. Here we go. So got some recording done this morning. Doing this live stream now, obviously. After this, gotta go head off to that appointment in a little bit for this afternoon. And I can do some editing and some more building tonight, later on at nighttime. So, yep. Staying busy. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. We're done with the main body and we're looking very good on time. Yeah, all we have left is the backpack and weapons. Let's do it. Thank you, Christian, as well. Yes. And Jeremy. Thank you guys all for the well wishes. What was the other question here? Would you want more RG? What would you want more, RG Cassie or an MG? Ooh, good question. Considering we already have a Cassie in 144 scale, I mean, an RG would obviously be different from the HG, but being in the same scale is a little bit boring, I guess. I would like to see an MG. I mean, it'd be gigantic, but I mean, it would certainly be interesting. I think it would be more interesting to have like a huge, massive MG Cassie than like a really detailed and intricate RG. I think in either case, the problem is that it's going to be expensive either way. It's going to be a really expensive RG or it's going to be a really, really expensive MG. So I don't think that either of those are very likely to be coming out anyway. But if it was up to me, if I could choose, I would say an MG would be cool. And thank you, Revan, as well. Did you not enjoy the Zeta Verka? I saw it was missing on your V kits, best kits of 2023. No, Jeremy. Yeah, and I meant to mention about it, but I didn't. I put it like in the video description. I kind of mentioned it as like an honorable mention. Yeah, it's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just that I didn't enjoy it as much as some of the other ones that I put in like the top 10. Probably should have included it as like an honorable mention in there as well. But yeah, no, it's a really good kit. Like if that's what you're looking for, it's not like one that I would say is like, whereas like probably the rest of those on that kit, I would recommend to like kind of just about anyone. Like here, like these are all kits that are really fun, and I would recommend. That one I wouldn't necessarily recommend to everyone. So I think that was kind of the main reason why I didn't include it on the list. Not for any particular reason, not that it's bad by any means. It's a really, really good, really cool kit. I don't know. Does that make sense? Can you make it posed in Gerwalk mode? I believe so. Revan, you should be able to. Still unclear about the difference between RG and MG. Petite, Cherie, the main difference between RG and MG, for one, is just going to be the scale. RG is smaller in 144 scale. MG is larger, 100 scale. That would be the main difference. Other than that, it just kind of depends on the kit. MG, I talked about this in my video talking about like what's going on with MG or whatever. I can't remember exactly how I titled it, but in a video talking about MGs, I talked about how a lot of times, like when discussing MGs, we just kind of generalize and like lump MGs all together into one thing, but it's not really fair to do that, because if you were to compare something like the MG Gelgoog, I'm just going to look at what kits are like here around my desk area, like the MG Gelgoog 2.0 versus the MG Gelgoog 1.0 versus like the MG Zeta 1.0 or the MG Zeta Verka. Like the MG line has a lot of range in terms of complexity and like even like what you get included with some of the kits. Like, some of them include dry transfer decals. Some of the Verkas include water slides, although not very many. Generally, they don't have like a lot of decal markings. It just kind of depends on the kit. But anyway, so there's a lot of wide variety when it comes to MG. It's kind of hard to just say MG and get a sense for the entirety of the line. The RG kits, however, because it's a much more recent, at least in comparison, the RG has been around for a little while now, but at least in comparison to MG, it's a much newer line. So it's a little bit easier to kind of generalize the RG line in terms of what you're going to get. But even in that case, not, not completely, because you have certain aspects of the RG line, which for like the first half of the RG line, you had like the pre-built inner frame, like as a kind of like sort of like the staple features of that line. Is this the wrong wing part? I think it is. Damn. I figured they were the same, but in fact, they're not. So yeah, like the first half of the RG line had like the pre-built frame, which honestly, for the most part, for most kits, didn't really make that much of a difference. It's not like the earlier kits were better because they had the pre-built frame runners. What's it called? There's a name for it, which I'm suddenly drawing a blank. What is it? I don't know. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so it's not like those earlier ones are better or worse for having that frame. I mean, if you spend time online, you'll hear people talking about like the early real grade syndrome, which I don't subscribe to. I don't think it's really like a thing. I mean, like, yeah, newer kits are generally going to be better than older kits. That's just kind of a given. You don't have to label the old kits as having some kind of syndrome that particularly makes them bad. They're just older. So anyway, you have a range in terms of quality and kind of just like what you can expect out of the kits. So yeah, that's going to be like the main thing. Picked a bad section to put together wrong. All right, let's try that again. It's supposed to be like that, and then we can put this on here. Complete with a nice little stress mark on there from having to disassemble it. Newer kits don't have that frame, is kind of boring to me and makes them feel like smaller MGs. Yeah, so like, see, perfect example. Some people liked the like pre-built frame parts. Advanced MS joint, thank you, Speedabaka. Yeah, the advanced MS joint. Some people liked that aspect of the RGs because it was unique, and I can totally understand that. Some people didn't really care for it. Some people, for example, liked the fact that it kind of made it a little bit different now without that, and now with the frame being just kind of your standard, like you build it entirely yourself. None of it's like pre-built, again, like as it were. It basically makes it like a smaller size MG. So yeah, some people don't really like that. Some people do. For me personally, I don't really care too much. As long as the kits looks cool and does what I want it to do, then I'm happy with it. And for the most part, all the kits do that. The ones that have the pre-built inner frame and the ones that don't. So I'm kind of happy either way. But thank you, Sharif, for the super chat there. Cheers. What is that tool you're using to separate the pieces? This is the part separator. Very, very useful tool. One that for the longest time I thought was pretty stupid. And I thought, why do you need a specific tool to separate parts? But it's actually very, very helpful and convenient. So it's one that I highly recommend you to pick up. This is the USA Gundam Store one. There's also a Wave one that I have as well at home. The blade on it is a little bit different, but works the same way. The handle is like basically exactly the same. It's just the blade slightly different. So you can kind of, and I'm sure there's other companies that make them too in other different shapes and sizes and everything. It's definitely a useful tool to have on hand. But thank you so much for the super chat. Muscle Car said, I agree about early real grade syndrome. I have the Exia Wing Zero EW, GPO1 FB, and the new Epion, and they're all solid, honestly. The Exia had loose legs out of the box, but it's plastic. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a model kit. I mean, yep. sometimes some part might be loose, it might be tight. It's just not really that big of a deal. Okay. Proving to take a little bit more focus here on the wing section, just because constructions are just a little bit more different here. All right. There's that. Here's our wing part. They should make a real master grade. Yeah. Yeah, it will definitely save your nails. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I used to, and I still do sometimes in a pinch. Like, if I can, I'll just use my fingernails, or I'll also use a knife blade sometimes. Just stick your knife blade in there and just rotate your knife as a way to kind of pop it open. But sometimes if it's like especially tight, you don't want to do that. It's just going to damage the part, or like damage your nails, or whatever. If it's like particularly troublesome, then just use the part separator. Yeah, it works super well. So yep. All right. That okay. Last couple of parts here for this. I like second guessing that I have the correct parts on here. Yeah, these parts here, like for the sliding, moving part of the wings, it's just slightly more complicated. So, okay, now we're gonna put these together. Not like that, like this. And here, that is correct, right? Yeah, I think so. Ew, okay. All right, I've broken a blade trying to pry parts apart. Yes, Uberzaku, yeah, I have too. Yeah. You can break your knife blade, which is not that big of a deal. I mean, hopefully you have, extra knife blades on hand anyway. Did I do this wrong? Because now I'm wondering if I did. Hang on. Because that should lock into place there. Okay, no. Yeah, all right, it does. Yeah. Okay. No. I was thinking I was going to have to take all that apart, which I will have to eventually, but not right at the moment, which is good. All right. So there's our wings part of our backpack. Still have the main center part here to do. Are you gonna paint this, ReZEL? Yes. Yep. As it's gonna be one of the parts for my GBWC entry that I'm gonna be working on. So yes, absolutely. It'll undergo some modification, not a ton. I'm not gonna do like a ton of modification on there. So there's gonna be two MG ReZELs in the kind of diorama scene that I'm working on, and they're going to be modified some, but not a ton. Yeah, they're basically going to be escort units in the scene that I'm putting together. So all right, this one here. And Uh-oh. Wait. Okay. Whew. Didn't realize that this little piece here in the side needs to go in a certain way too. And almost had it wrong. That would have sucked. Bandai, why you do this to me? Just make the parts so that I don't need to worry about left side, right side, and all this stuff. Alright. That goes in there like that. Last couple pieces here to just finish this up then. It's on the top. It's our center part of the backpack. And then we've got, actually this is, these are actually part of the cannon. So we can, I think, before starting work on the cannon and the shield, I just want to see how this all goes together. Just to skip ahead for a moment. That's going to be plugged onto like that. Like Star Fox over here with this backpack. It's a really cool backpack design. Definitely one of the things that I like about the ReZEL, especially the type B and C, I think it is, right? So one of the things we've got here in these last few parts, let's see, those are action base adapters here. One for mobile suit mode, one for Wave Rider mode, our pilot figures here. That box is juiced. And we've also got these. I'm going to put in the forearms. Like I was mentioning before, the beam saber handles and missiles go in the forearms. You have 2 beam saber handles and 2 missiles, so you can choose like one each. I kind of wish that they would have given you parts to make it like if you wanted to have missiles in both the forearms. I don't know if anyone's ever going to like actually have the kit posed in a way that would be showing like both of these like forearm doors open with like the missiles shooting out. But I don't know, you know, if you did want to do that, it would have been nice to have that option. It's not like it would be very like extra little missiles like that wouldn't be the most difficult parts to scratch build if you wanted to go that route. But take a look at this. How long these parts are. Yeah, I mean, cool, but I mean, break this up a little bit into different parts. Just makes it easier to paint when these parts aren't so long, when they're not basically like beam cannon chopsticks over here like this. But collection showcase anytime soon, Javier asked. Probably not. Did you see on Twitter the company making single blade nippers with replacement blades? Yeah, I've seen that. Those were announced 5-6 months ago, something like that. Originally, it's Plummo Kojo is the company. I've taken a look at a couple of their products before. I wish we could get their products here at USA Gundam Store. They're kind of hard to get a hold of, the company. But yeah, I have seen about those. I do actually. I have a pair actually coming. I will actually be doing a review. I'll be taking a look at them. I can't. I mean, again, I'm keeping an open mind, but realistically, I don't really expect them to be like kind of replacing my go-to nippers anytime soon. It's just kind of a gimmick, and that's kind of like the specialty of that company of Plummo Kojo. A lot of the stuff they make is just kind of very like gimmicky. It's like useful enough, but you know, it's not like breaking the mold on any like, tool technology or anything really. So it's just interesting kind of stuff. Let's see. This is for the camera for the beam cannon. Is it a beam cannon? I guess so. What's it technically called? I want to be technically precise here. Nice seam line on that. That's going to be fun. It is called a what? Let's see, a backpack. Let's see. Well, it should be here. Let's see. On the front inside page, here we go. This is a part of the manual that I've talked about before, although I feel like some people, not all master grades have this, some do. A section here where it just says what the different parts of the Gundam are, not like the mobile, not like the plastic parts of the kit, just like the mobile suit. For example, like here on the shield over here, for example, number 32 is let's see, hammer blade. So it'd be the end part of the shield, I guess, is technically called a hammer blade. Hammer blade. Okay, yeah, it's sort of like a blunt weapon, I guess, there at the end. And these two like rectangle bits in here, for example, number 33 is hard point. It says that those are hard points. So if you really want to know, like, be able to talk about everything like very technically, you can look at what everything's labeled in the manual. 30, okay, the cannon at the back is what I want to know about. Let's see what it's technically called here. 26 is let's see, I don't know if this is going to be the right one because they're like the different parts of it here. Let's see, 26. That's just the sensor. What does it say about the cannon itself? What it's going to be called? 31. Let's see, what's that? No, that's just the power supply. Doesn't say. 30, that's just the grip. Where does it say what's the actual name of the weapon? I don't know. Oh, it's right there in English. Mega beam launcher. Okay, and someone probably already said in the chat too. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to just figure it out on my own. But yeah, so anyway. Sorry for getting distracted there. Anyway, back to the build, shall we? Okay, so this is like the connection arm here. I guess could refer back to the front of the manual again to see what this is technically called, but I'm gonna save you guys the annoyance of doing that. Let's see. Connection arm for the, what was it? Mega beam cannon? Mega, what is it? Anyway, here on the back. Got that, and then this way it's gonna go like that. Damn, I can't read Nihongo. It's just, at least that part of the manual, usually most everything's in katakana, so it's pretty easy. It just kind of takes a second. I can read it, unfortunately, not as like quick as I would like to be able to. It kind of takes a second. I don't read that fast, but all right. Now we can start putting everything inside here. Got the handle or grip, as it's called in Japanese. I learned something new today. I did not know that it was called a grip. Technically speaking, let's see. Camera there. This part is also going to go in this like track here. And we can close this up. Oof. Also, should say, when it comes to how I'm going to be using this kit for my project, I don't actually plan on using this cannon. So, sadly, it's gonna, well, not sadly, it's gonna go bye-bye. I'm gonna use it on something else later on, but not for this project, so that's fine. That. We got our camera here. Again, the lens part, which I'm worried about having to pop out of there later, but oh well. That part's gonna fit on there like that. Oh no. Oh no. I need my part separator again. I'm gonna have to take all this apart. At least all these pieces, because unfortunately, it's the connection arm. Damn. The connection arm in here slides on a track. It didn't go in the track where it's supposed to be. So that's fun. But that means I get to show off my part separator again, I guess. Thoughts on MG Goof Custom? Yeah, it's not great. So it's an older one. So, you know, it's got its issues. The hands in particular. It's been a long time since I built it, so you know, I would have to go back. I couldn't give you like a really in-depth analytical, you know, critique on the kit right now at the moment, or the hands and just like the weight issue with the kit. Can't actually really hold the Gatling shield very well, which is a problem considering it's like its main, you know, like signature weapon, right? If you're getting the MG Goof Custom, you probably want it to be able to hold that weapon, and it can sort of, but yeah, not well. So that would be a big issue. I would love if we would to get some sort of 2.0 or something of even just like a 1.5, I guess, if it addressed the main issues. But some sort of new version of the Goof Custom would certainly be nice, yeah. Okay, now that that's fixed, we can get back to this. And so we're going to attach this into here. And let's see. Do that. I'm gonna close, okay, close these. Here and here. And we can put his backpack on. Now he's ready to head off to school. Check that out. I know, it's kind of hard to see, but here we go. Check this out. I'll change the camera so you guys can see better in just a moment. There he is. Let me just put the shield together here real quick. And then we'll wrap it up here for today. As we're doing that, just want to say to you guys who have been hanging out this morning, thanks for hanging out this morning. And yeah, more cool stuff to come. Like I said, there's a couple of kits that I have on the schedule for live building. If you enjoy the live building videos. So after this, the next one will either be the Galehound, which I have ready. I've had here ready for a live build for like 2 weeks now. just haven't been able to fit it in. There's this shield with the hammer blade. Another cool term that I learned today. So yeah, the Galehound is ready for live build. Also, the Shinanju Steinverka, the original Shinanju Steinverka, is going to be another live build. That one I've got 70% ready. This is just the last couple bits, like the backpack and weapons parts, that I have yet to get ready. I can probably finish up preparing that for live build today, and then probably by the end of this week I should be able to live build that one as well. But here's our commander type ReZEL. Super cool design there, and yeah, very different backpack. Let me actually, I can do one better, and I can show you guys the standard one right here. So from the front, you're going to notice the clear color. The clear parts are in a different color. The standard type, the standard type has pink clear parts. The commander type has green clear parts. Otherwise, nothing really too much different on the front. I mean, you can see like the profile of the backpack is different. The center part's the same, but like the commander type has these big parts sticking out the top and the sides there for the wings of the back. The backpack's obviously going to be the main difference. It's quite different between the two versions there, as you can see. Again, the center part is the same, it's just the side parts are different, but there we go. So we'll have reviews coming up for both of these kits very soon. Riker, excited about my 84 minutes to build the whole kit. Keep in mind that I did all the prep work of getting all the parts clipped and all the nubs removed and everything. I did all that ahead of time, so that's, you know, hours of work done, you know, before the live stream started. So yeah, it was 84 minutes to put the kit together once everything was all cut and prepared. So just back in the box for the moment until I can get those reviews done, but that should be pretty soon. I'll share that with you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. I got some other stuff to do here real quick before we got to run to a doctor's appointment this afternoon. Fun times, very busy, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this morning live stream and the next live stream. Like I said, aside from building those two kits, yeah, the next live stream with Ryan will be a couple weeks. I don't have any other interviews lined up at the moment, but we want to do some more, so I'm gonna think about that. If you guys have anyone in particular that you would like to see on for a interview, send me a message or something and let me know, and I'll certainly take that into consideration. So yeah, let me know if there's somebody that you guys would like to hear from in interview form. Oh, and don't forget about this. The Toys and Tanks contest, which is still ongoing. And so I have, I think, probably about 50 to 60 entries so far for the Toys and Tanks contest so far. That's using the Marutoys or Nachin kits from Kotobukiya. Here's one that I'm working on to kind of join you guys as just like a quick little work in progress. That's the Ramune colored version of the Noseru. Anyway, so more on that later. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. Diatma said, oh no, I just joined. You can go back and watch the playback. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.